He's a former Player of the Year and a certain Hall of Famer. But it's been nearly a decade since Wes Malott has last won a singles title on the Guaranteed Rate PBA Tour. Today, a re-energized Malott looks to advance into the finals of the season's first major, the PBA Players Championship, where a $250,000 winner's prize awaits. Does the Big Nasty still have it in him? The Central Region Final of the PBA Players Championship next. We welcome you to Jupiter, Florida, and the third consecutive weekend of the PBA Players Championship build-up here on FS1. Last month, 381 of the world's best bowlers separated into 5 regions. The top 5 from each of those regions advanced here, where they have continued to battle to qualify for the first major of the season. Flash back to 2 weeks ago. Anthony Simonson, your #1 seed in the West, and he won the West to move on to the Players Championship Finals later this month. And then last weekend, another 1 seed, the Canadian Francois Lavoie, punched his ticket to the final show by surviving a sudden death roll-off to claim the Southwest region. So now it's the Central's turn to determine its finalists, and it is an eclectic field. Former Players of the Year, a rookie, a vet, and the eternal feel-good story of one Tom Smallwood. We welcome you to week 3 of the 63rd season of the Professional Bowlers Association. The Hall of Famer, Randy Pedersen, Rob Stone, back here with you. PBA Commissioner Tom Clark, he looked at today's collection of talent and he said, this is really kind of the redemption show. And guess what? The commish is right. All 5 of these guys have some form of chip on their shoulder, something to prove. So let's break down the 5 and why they're here and what they have to prove. We begin with Indianapolis native Zach Weidman, your #5 seed.
Rob, have you ever heard of a professional bowler by the name of E.J. Tackett?
Yes, sir.
How about Chris Prather? Sean Rash?
All good bowlers.
How about Zach Weidman?
Not so much.
He beat all of those players in the Central region, and today Zach Weidman is looking to prove to everyone that he belongs under the bright lights going against the greatest players on the PBA Tour.
One of the big stories today, the return of the Big Nasty Wes Malott.
Yeah, I love seeing Big Wes back. Hall of Fame career, but can you believe that he hasn't won in 8 years? The Big Nasty hasn't won in 8 years. Just hard to believe. But it really seemed like he turned the corner in 2020 or towards the end of 2020. The big question is, will he ever win a singles title again? More
on him in a second. Your 3 seed, our good friend Ronnie Russell, is back as well.
Last win 2015. He also finished second in this event to Parker Bone III in 2015. He's got a new equipment contract. He's made some swing changes. Can he revive his 18-year-old career?
Does anybody have more to prove today than our 2 seed Andrew Anderson?
No one. And here's why. He was a 2018 Player of the Year, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Was plagued with some injuries, did not make a single show in 2020. No one on today's telecast has more to prove than Andrew.
And nobody on today's telecast maybe puts a bigger smile on our face than the 1 seed. Tom Smallwood.
Who could forget that story? And when he made a name for himself beating Wes Malott to win his first title, and it was a major. The ex-auto worker. He's the biggest opportunistic out here on tour. When he gets a chance, he takes advantage of it. His nickname is Smalls, but I think they should change his nickname to the Sniper.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot a lot of bullets, but when he does, he hits his target.
He's also more of a crossbow guy.
And he loves hunting.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. Throughout our coverage of the PBA Players Championship, we are joined by 6-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte. Belmo, welcome back, my friend. And let's start off with going back to our 4 seed, the Big Nasty Wes Malott. How do you describe his place in bowling history currently?
Yeah, g'day boys, g'day everyone at home watching. I think the biggest thing about Wes is it's just a surprise to hear when Randy made the comment earlier that he hadn't won a singles title since 2013. There isn't a guy out here on tour that is more intimidating than Wes, not just by his sheer size, but how amazing he is at throwing the bowling ball any which way he wants. He's gone through some injuries. He's made some changes to his game to try to help those injuries prevent the pain while throwing the ball. We call him the Big Nasty, but he's certainly been more of a cuddly bear out here, and I think this is going to be the week that turns that back into the Big Nasty nickname. I'm pulling for him. I really hope that he does a fantastic job. It's going to be a great show, fellas.
So you tell me the Big Nasty has turned into the Big Smiley, huh? A little teddy bear out there. I don't know about that. He's still got some bite in his game. Let's hear from Wes standing by with our Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Rob. So, Wes, I saw you in practice, and you seemed really relaxed. You were out there smiling. And in our pre-show interviews, you actually said that recently you had a change in mental attitude. Can you elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, for sure, Kimberly. You know, the last couple of years of my personal life have been a little hectic and a lot going on. And, you know, most recently, back in actually when we landed at the World Series before we got shut down, I got a phone call when I landed in Vegas that my dad had been in an accident, and unfortunately I lost him middle of April. And with that, you know, you mentioned the mental attitude and a lot of changes in my life. And my girlfriend Sarah has been such a huge support and been by my side, whether it be in the bowling center, at home, wherever the case may be. And between that and all the, you know, other family and friends coming together, supportive and all that stuff, has just been a life change for me, to know that I have all them behind me and to be able to bring that here, and knowing I have that army behind me. Just helps me so much, and I'm so thankful for all of them.
Well, it's so important to have family and friends behind you. Thank you so much for your time, Wes.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Oh, the Big Nasty, the big positive right now. Wonder what that's going to do to his bowling today. We're going to find out soon. Malott, the 4 seed, set to take on Weidman. The winner has Ronnie Russell, Andrew Anderson, former Player of the Year, waiting as the 2 seed. Tom Smallwood, your number 1 seed in the Central Region. All of our number 1 seeds here at the PBA Players Championship qualifying have moved on to the final show so far. We'll see if Smallwood can keep that going.
This is the 2020 Indiana State Masters champion, Zach Weidman.
Zach just got his PBA card last year. Rolled a couple regionals, looking for his first tour title, a native of just outside Indianapolis. Runs the pro shop there at Strikeforce Lanes, about 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. His first shot. Exactly what you want.
A 10-time PBA Tour champion and U.S. Open winner, 3-time member of Team USA and the 2009 PBA Player of the Year, Wes Malott.
19th year, Randy, as a pro.
Yeah, and you know what? We always talk about if you're going to take on someone in the opening match, you take on someone that's never made television before. But ask Darren Tang about that, as Chris Kelso shot 269 at him in our first game.
I can't bowl with this. Sorry.
In the first game, our opening game of these regional finals. Jason, I know that every time I took on a first-time player, as far as television went, I was always pretty psyched about that because I always felt I had an advantage.
Go ball.
Yeah, I think that's the general feeling. I think over history, if you look at the performances of those rookie guys or their first television appearances, you've got a lot of nerves. That's a new environment. You've got to deal with quite a lot. But this week and last week and the week before that, these first timers are proving to be a handful on the lanes.
A lot of it is due to the fact that there is not that natural audience as well, that energy of emotion. You were talking about it earlier today, all the other demands that are placed upon you typically when you're on a TV show.
Gosh.
It's always good to get 9 on an oh gosh shot. But yeah, you're right, Rob. You know, not just the environment with the fans yelling, but it's all the media, it's all the attention, it's the PBA staff telling you you've got to be here, you've got to be there to sign these, you've got interviews over there, and you've got fans pulling you left and right. So when you don't have that as a distraction, you can just focus on what your job is on the lanes. It does make it a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole fan experience is what really makes it, right? And so now that's just a completely different mindset for the players, for us as announcers, and for the folks at home watching.
Second shot for Weidman. Back-to-back opening jacks for the youngster from Indy.
Well, a little different finals today than we've had the last couple of weeks, guys, and that's because we have no two-handers and no left-handers for the first time in the regional finals. The players on the right side, they're going to keep playing the same part of the lane on this 39 Don Carter oil pattern. But the only thing that I'm wondering, Jason Belmonte, are they going to break the lanes down enough in the middle part of the lane where everybody's going to be playing to end up lofting the ball at some point?
Yeah, it's a good question, Randy. I think what we're already seeing now from Zach and Wes is they're already further left than what we have seen the other right-handers start at. So as the progression of the event goes on, the rev rates aren't all that low. They're not massive, but they're not nothing. So you're going to see that progression left. I think the key will be the guy who decides to move further right later on. He might have an advantage on this particular transitioning pair.
Strike, strike, spare for Weidman.
Zach has a very unique ball roll. It's not typical. The way he gets out of the ball, it's a little side roll, it's a little forward roll, it's kind of a little of everything kind of going down there. But the one thing that I do like is the way that the ball comes off the end of the pattern. Stands up really strong, has a heavy roll on the back end. So with that roll, he should be able to get it through the fronts, still get some good carry down the other end.
Ooh. By the numbers, pretty good shot there, guys. And he's got strike, solid 9, ring 10 to start this game. Let's take a look at his release real quick. I think it's one of the best releases in the game and has been for a long time. But you can see what his hand does there at the bottom. So what he does is he's able to create a lot of roll and a lot of axis tilt.
Back-to-back 9 spares for the Big Nasty.
Yeah.
West down 10 as we enter the 4th.
I feel like these next 2 shots from Wes, the 4th and the 5th frames, this is where he's got to start to feel a little bit more comfortable. I spoke to him just before he went out on set. He said he felt good, he said he's ready, but you can just tell by his mannerisms a little bit. He just wants to get comfortable. And Wes is a player that anything that is out of the norm for him is uncomfortable. So once he finds whatever it is, and sees that ball shape like that, we may see quite a few strikes coming from Wes.
Does he look to you like he's pressing a bit? Do you think he's pressing a bit?
I think he just wants to get comfortable. I think he just wants to get to the line. I think he wants his balance to be good. You know, even that particular shot right there, I don't know if he popped out of it thinking that was one of his best shots. So he got the result he was looking for. He certainly saw the shape of the ball go down the lane the way that he wanted, and that might be the first of a few.
Strike number 3 for Weidman. Bowled collegiately at Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, but it was not on a D1 type level. It was club bowling, but a very good, strong club they were. 3 years in a row they made it to the Nationals without scholarships. Bowled against the big boys and did quite well. And then Zach able to transition from that into a life on the Pro Tour. We're going to have more on that with Kimberly in a moment. In the 5th, back-to-back jacks. So his second double of the day.
Jace, very unique ball roll. I mean, it's almost borderlining Ryan Schaefer type ball roll. I mean, there's a lot of tilt in that release and a lot of side rotation to go with it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of probably the keys to his success for this particular event, to make it to this TV show, is because of that unique ball roll. It's very hard to replicate that. So when you have a look, when you have an area of the lane that you feel comfortable in and is striking, it's hard for other players to kind of replicate that. So you kind of get that all to yourself.
The Big Nasty in the 5th. Gets them all.
Now that looked like to be his best shot of the game.
That looked great. I mean, the ball speed on that shot from the last time he was on that lane was just a little bit slower. It gave the ball a moment longer to read the friction, to create that entry of angle into the pocket, and that's the kind of Wes Malott that we're used to seeing week in and week out, you know, especially when he was hot. If we can see Wes finish this frame out with that ball speed, that roll, I think he's got a great chance, not just to win the match, but to run the ladder today.
Former All-American at West Texas A&M, looking for the day's first triple, finds it.
Gotta have that one.
Beautiful shot there to even the match halfway through match number 1. And it couldn't have come at a better time for the Big Nasty. That's a 3-bagger.
And when we return, we're going to tell you about the one woman who pushed that man, Zach Weidman, into the pro ranks. This is the PBA on FS1. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. Let's take a look at today's Flow Bowling Tournament highlight from the Central Region qualifying just outside Milwaukee. Zach Weidman bowling right now, finished 5th. Just beat out E.J. Tackett, Randy.
Yeah, and Zach's ball roll really helps when you're playing that deep in the front part of the lane hooks. And I could have gone all day without seeing that pin standing up for E.J. Tackett. Frustrated to say the least. Prather had a chance as well. He steps up here and looking for a strike, and instead, well, I'll let Chris tell you what that meant.
Chris finishing 8th. Take a look at the top 10. Sean Rash checking in at 14th. Smallwood, your 1 seed. We'll see him later today. Malott Weidman, the winner to take on 3 seed Ronnie Russell.
Nick Payton, 7th. Another great player out here. Boy, I'll tell you, that ball roll is pretty unique. And again, I keep thinking Ryan Schaefer when I see that ball roll. There's so much tilt to it. And I'll tell you what, it's not something that we see a lot out here anymore.
No, it's not. And I think probably even more than his ball roll, what's impressing me is the execution. You know, we're talking about another guy, first time under the lights, hasn't missed a pocket, 5 out of 6 shots to strikes.
Go.
Make that 6 of 7.
Yeah, 4 in a row for Weidman, and this just continues that theme we've seen the last couple of weeks.
4 in a row?
4 in a row. It's also called a 4-bagger.
What?
Yep. Yeah. I invented that term, a 4-bagger.
You should trademark that.
Yeah, maybe put it on a T-shirt. This continues that theme of kind of these quote-unquote no-name guys, and there's been a lot of them the last couple of weeks, and more coming up here throughout this PBA Players Championship shows of these young guys that we don't know much about really excelling under the lights against top-tier talent like a Wes Malott. That's a ham bone for the Big Nasty.
You know, you got to go one way or the other. You can't have it both ways.
I can't call him the Big Nasty. You want me to just call him Wes Malott?
You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
Randall.
Randall. Don't pull this on me, Randall.
Great shot there by Wes. Closes the gap to 10. And needs a strike here in the 8th to keep the pressure on Weidman and even the match.
By the way, back-to-back ham bones. You know what?
What?
2021 is going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
I hope you're right, my friend.
Yeah, no kidding.
Big shot here for Wes Malott.
Come on.
Yahtzee for the Nasty.
This is as good as I've seen Wes, not just under lights, but anywhere throw the ball. That hand position, balance, the control of his ball speed, all on point. Now, he's bowling against a kid with nothing to lose, who technically right now is up in the match. But I love what I'm seeing from Wes.
Zach leaving the 10-pin right there. Asked him why he decided to get his PBA card last year. Just felt he had accomplished enough as an amateur and ready for that next step, but he needed some confirmation to take that next step. For more on that, we go down to the lanes. Kimberly.
Rob, he absolutely did. And when Zach got married in November of 2019, he was debating on whether or not to go pro because, like many, he was worried that he wasn't good enough. But it was his new bride, Addie, who pushed him to join the PBA, telling him, go chase your dreams, but do it before we have kids. So I asked Zach, how much has your wife's words of encouragement helped him? And he smiled big and said, without her, I wouldn't be on the TV show, and I can't thank her enough for all her love and support.
Yeah, Kimberly, a beautiful picture. I wrote that in capital letters, before we have kids, right? There is life before kids and there is life after kids. The three of us know that very, very well. Kimberly does as well, to be honest with you. Yeah, get the good living in before the kids take over. Weidman to open up the ninth and gets a strike.
Well, Wes Malott now in the driver's seat and can shut out Zach Weidman. But Jason, I've got a question for you as we take a look at Zach's last shot. The Achilles heel for Wes Malott during this dry run, when he did make a telecast, was he would have moments of very poor execution. We haven't seen that yet today. What do you think the difference has been for Wes?
I think he's mentioned it on the show. I think he mentioned it in the pre-interviews before today. He's in a better headspace. I think he's right in the wave of life in a positive way right now. And
Come on, ball, do the right thing.
Go! 7 goes down. 10 thought about it. Big break for the big nasty.
Bigger break for Zach Weidman.
Belmo, where you at?
He's right here.
So Wes's has a signature strike. That messenger there, it's a slowish rolly one. That's Wes's signature messenger. It didn't come off today. I told him if you throw one like that, you've got to give him a shout out. And Wes, you didn't strike. Do it again and strike this time.
And now he's in danger of getting shut out. So 248 max for Wes Malott, 258 max for Zach Weidman. Wes gets to finish on the left lane. Zach will finish on the right lane. Last time up on the right lane for Zach, he left that flat 10.
Yeah, and this first shot is critical. If Wes gets this first one, then it will force Zach to at least get the first one to win, providing that Wes gets a spare in the next frame. So this is a big shot. This is to keep the count, to put a lot more pressure on a rookie. That's pretty good from up here.
Messenger put on the brakes.
Oh, that one was pretty good.
So that tells me, Randy, that ball just, it's gone from creating plenty of angle of entry into the pocket to just changing fractionally with the transition of the lanes to the 6-pin not doing its job.
Just being a little flat.
Oh, never know.
All right, so if he strikes on this next shot, Zach will need spare strike or first ball strike in the 10th frame to advance to take on Ronnie Russell. If Wes strikes here and Weidman goes 9 spare 9, we'll have a tie.
Of course.
There's a strike.
Yeah, he got out of that a little bit more aggressively. He had a little bit more side rotation on that ball. It changed the angle of entry into the pocket. As soon as he let it go, he knew, the comment of course.
Yeah.
That was how I was supposed to throw it, the frame before. Not easy to do, spare, strike to win your first match on TV, but looking very solid.
Gets the strike. Just needs count.
It's impressive, Randy.
He really is.
It's impressive. You're playing against, someone 6'4". I mean, Zach's no slouch himself, but first time on television, needing a mark to win and just burying the pocket like that.
Yeah.
Perfect execution. It's impressive. It's awesome to see. I wonder how Zach's feeling on the inside right now, taking down Wes Malott. He must be just, I don't know what he is. He looks calm, but if it were me, there'd be just fireworks going off inside.
Yeah. Well, I always look at the forehead. I mean, he's not sweating a whole lot. He looks pretty dry, and that's always a good sign. Some guys get out there and they start sweating like they have malaria. That's how nervous they get, and that's how excited and how much adrenaline's going. But he looks nice and calm. I'll tell you what, neither player has missed the pocket in this opening match, and that's usually conducive to pretty high scores, and that's what we got here in match number 1.
And what a way to finish for Zach Weidman. The final 4 are strikes, so Weidman moves on 258, 237. 21 pin win for the 26-year-old. Looked awfully comfortable out there from start to finish.
I mean, again, think about some of the guys that he beat in the Central region and some of the biggest names in bowling. Let's go down to Kimberly.
Yeah, he looked calm, cool, and collected out here on the lane. Zach, so how were you able to keep it all together when your first time under the big lights?
I just took a lot of deep breaths and just focused on making good shots and didn't think about anything else. It's just another day of bowling.
And how excited are you now that you decided to go for that pro card?
Very excited. It's all paying off now.
It sure is. Good luck in the next match.
Thank you.
Well, Addie is back home outside Indy cheering on the hubby. Zach Weidman, a really impressive 258, 237 win over Wes Malott. Up next, 3-seed Ronnie Russell and his new approach to excelling on the PBA Tour. We welcome you back to the PBA on FS1. Central Finals up here from Bolero, Jupiter. Zach Weidman, your 5-seed, just advanced with a 258, 237 win over Wes Malott. Up next for him, your 3-seed, Ronnie Russell from outside Indianapolis. A bit of an Indiana showdown here. And we begin with the 26-year-old Weidman.
Oh, God.
Weidman again starts with a strike.
He owns 4 PBA Tour titles and bowled the PBA's 24th televised perfect game in 2014, Ronnie Russell.
18th year on the tour for the 41-year-old. Bowled 2 300 games during his 28 games of qualifying to get here in Milwaukee, the Central Regional qualification. And he starts with the strike as well.
28 games of qualifying, 4 7-game blocks, 4 different patterns to earn your way here, and a nice start by Ronnie Russell. But I've got a question for Jason Belmonte, who's all too familiar with playing that steep an angle. Playing that steep an angle, will it cause a pin carry problem for Ronnie Russell at some point?
That's a good question, Randy. I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball to tell you exactly. I feel like Ronnie's playing to his strength. This is his A game. This is the part of the lane that he is most comfortable playing. And I think he's built his game over creating the angle through the pin from that position. So when you're talking about pin carry, I got a feeling that Ronnie's experience and how he sees the ball go down the lane, if he starts to see some of that, we might see some of that very natural talent kick in and some subtle hand position changes at the release point to prevent 10 pins.
Nothing but strikes so far.
Hey, Rob, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What did you say Zach Weidman shot in game 1?
258.
You know what he shot in his last game of the 28-game qualifier in the Central region?
258?
Yeah. And that was to go around E.J. Tackett and Chris Prather.
So you're telling me there's a theme?
Just a little bit of a little bit of a thread there.
Perfect through 3 is Weidman. Unfazed by the television lights and the big personalities of Randy Pedersen and Jason Belmonte analyzing his game.
I think what's going to be interesting to see is both players are taking very different ball paths to the pocket. Ronnie further left and going through the ball path of Zach. Typically on our tour, we see that causes transition for the player standing further to the right.
Might have caught that one a little too much.
And Ronnie right now has some room down the lane. So I think this is heading down a really nice path for Ronnie. If Zach starts to see some of that transition that Ronnie is causing, I don't think Ronnie should be too worried about any of his transition until more shots have been thrown from that part of the lane.
We had Wes Malott in the last match, and we talked about the big smile on the Big Nasty, like this upgrade in personality and changes. And Ronnie Russell, same case. Carefree mentality has entered his aura.
That's got to get really lucky.
Come on, 7. And he talked about it. He said, look, I feel like I still have a rev rate of a guy who's 30 years old. I think I'm in a good part of my career. Things are going well, particularly financially. Now I can just bowl for the trophy, not having to bowl for money and bowl for a livelihood. That is a huge burden taken off somebody.
Yeah, no, I agree. But if it does anything for the player, it should help loosen up that swing.
Correct.
Which then
missed it.
Which then helps you make better shots. That's not what we're seeing. It was back-to-back poor shots, and now a missed spare.
I think it's just an error. That's, you know, I think those first 3 shots out of the gate were pretty good off his hand. That one there, when he said he needed to get a little lucky, you know, he knew what was going on. That was just an error. He's got to bounce back.
Opening for Weidman, kicks the 10, and he is perfect through 4, an opening ham bone. New tracks, new teams, and a new champ. The 2021 NASCAR season starts in 1 week, Randall, with the great American race. It's the Daytona 500. Valentine's Day, February 14th, only on Fox. Come on, Bubba Wallace, cheering for you.
Yeah, man, just up the road from where I live. About an hour away.
Go, go.
Perfect through 5.
All right, so can I segue back to Ronnie Russell again real quick and have this argument with you, Jace? The shot on the right lane, Rob Stone even said it. He said, got away with one. The next shot on the left lane, he says, that needs help. And then the missed 7-pin.
Way right.
And that's what I'm referring to. So, you know, there's absolutely no doubt about the fact that he has plenty of power for this tour. It all boils down to execution. I mean, you have plenty of power for this tour. What sets you apart? Your execution.
Sure. Look, it's hard to know what's going on right now. I mean, confidence can disappear really quickly as well. So perhaps after that 4th frame shot that he didn't let go quite as good as he would have liked, he's lost a little bit of that confidence. Now he looks a little lost. You know, he's I don't know if it's.
Oh, guys, let's take a look at the spare of the game brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. Call that a fortunate conversion?
That's a very fortunate.
Very fortunate. Yeah, could have missed that, but easy.
Look, Randy, if I'm in Ronnie's shoes right now, he just took a re-rack. That's experience. That's exactly what he needed to do. Needed to just stop, slow down, reset. Yes, Zach has 5 in a row, but there's still plenty left in this game.
Hasn't struck since the 3rd frame. Gets one there in the 6th.
I mean, there's zero doubting his ability. The guy throws it plenty good enough. But he has to execute, and especially against this guy here who's perfect through 5.
Who will move on to the semis of the Central Region, Russell or Weidman? Find out with us next. We welcome you back to the PBA on FS1. Let's take a look at our Strike Track 3D, Randy.
Well, the difference in the two lines is because Ronnie Russell's launch angle is much steeper through the front part of the lane, and that's why he's covering a lot more ground. You can see that he's laying the ball a good 3 boards to the inside of Weidman, and therefore he's covering a little bit more territory. He needs a break, though, from Weidman. He needs Weidman to stop striking. And, Jason, if Weidman does give him an opening, Ronnie Russell has to be perfect, in my opinion, the rest of the game.
Well, he has to make it at least better shots than what he is making. But like you said, he needs to get that opportunity first. Zach has just, from the get-go, has just looked like he's bowling at home. You know, he looks like I'm just practicing right now. Everything looks relaxed. It's coming off his hand perfectly.
Opening match, 10 strikes, including a pair of ham bones. And here he is, perfect through 6. We might have a PBA alert coming by in a moment. Stand by.
Go.
Get the alert up. Here we go. Chasing 300 is on for Zach Weidman.
Haven't we had that alert on every show?
As
the Players' Championship?
Yeah. It tells you how good these guys have been here in Jupiter.
Yeah.
So dialed in, so fresh, so eager to take that opportunity and run with it. Ronnie Russell playing come from behind bowling right now. Needs to start stringing strikes. He's got a double there.
Nice shot, nice looking shot there. You guys, make no mistake about it. I'm a Ronnie Russell fan. And there's nobody that would like to see this guy win again and compete on a weekly basis more than myself. But in order to do that, I think he needs to work harder. I know he's been putting in some time. He's made some changes in his game. He's had to learn some new equipment. And I think if Ronnie Russell can assert himself and really push himself to that next level, I think he's got a shot.
He said 3 words to us that jumped out to me the other day. Hall of Fame. This is a guy who thinks he is in contention to get himself into the Hall. It's going to be a great run on the back end of his career to get there. And now he's got 3 in a row.
A lot of game work. Come on.
Well, I think that's the motivation, right? Motivation to get into the Hall of Fame. And I think, Randy, you've touched on everything. It's absolutely true. And I think it's a process that Ronnie is going through. You talked about a swing change. You talked about a new ball contract. You're talking about a lot of these changes to a process. And when we're out here, we don't like to see too many changes. We want to fire on all cylinders and just keep it at that. So it's going to be a process. And like you said, he has the capability.
8 in a row for Weidman.
So remember Chris Kelso. First time on television, he starts out 269, wins. Match 2, 268, wins. Match 3, 254, and wins. That's how he started. Here's Weidman, 258 and front 8.
Well, one more strike shuts out Ronnie Russell, too. Wow.
Game over.
10 back. Buried.
So much more on the line for Weidman. A $10,000 bonus lurking out there should he drop a 300 today. We are heavily chasing 300. Rain, it's like we're back in LA right now with all those chase alerts. Like
crazy.
Head to KTLA right now. We got another chase alert. We are chasing 300 here in Jupiter. We got the helicopters circling. We've got
KTLA.
We got cops cutting off on ramps and off ramps. They're throwing those sticks out on the highway. We got a chase for 300 is on, and I am glued.
The entrance to the bowling center is barricaded.
Heavily fortified.
Heavily fortified.
How about 5 in a row for Ronnie?
Yeah, it's a good finish.
Goes on, isn't it? That's not good.
It's a good finish, and you know, it's again, I think Ronnie's got all the tools. He needs to just rearrange that toolbox.
I'll tell you something that I'm noticing today that maybe I haven't seen from Ronnie's ball for a couple of years. I'm really liking the way that it is going through the pins
Yeah.
on a well-executed shot. You know, the ones that see that shape, it's knocking them over really, really well. And that's where he now, I think, the confidence that he's going to take away from this is, okay, if I can execute 10 out of 10 great shots, my ball is going to do the right thing through the pins. I have the ability to strike a lot. He's just got to take that one that misses the head pin.
Real quick on Ronnie, you get the feeling we're going to see more of him under the lights this season?
I do. I mean,
think so.
He's got the ability. We keep saying he's got the ability. I think the only person that can prevent Ronnie Russell from making television is Ronnie Russell.
Yeah, I agree.
Or facing Zach Weidman day in and day out. Weidman going for the Bo Derek. No! Denied the perfect 10. And the chase is over. The pursuit is done. A little pit stop move. Kick him into the guardrail, and he is done. He moves on.
I just got an alert on my phone. They've reopened the city of Jupiter.
The Florida Turnpike is open in both directions. Oh, what a run for Zach Weidman.
Yep,
Gets
absolutely.
the opening 9 frames full of X's. He's going to move on with ease again.
So if he strikes you, it'll be 278. It'll be 258, 278 start for Zach Weidman. Hey, Addy, nice call.
Right? Right, the misses nailed it. Go pursue those dreams before we have kids. Oh, this was fun, and we're going to see more from Zach. 277 today's high. A really comfortable 34-pin win to complement his 21-pin win earlier over Wes Malott. So Zach Weidman moves on. Coming up next, it's a tour through the 2021 majors. Plus, we're going to delve into the world of former Player of the Year Andrew Anderson. Is he ready to reclaim his place in the spotlight?
Bill O'Neill wins the 2020 PBA Players Championship. Chris Prather wins the TOC. Jason Belmonte wins the 2020 PBA World Championship. Celebrate! Finally, a major heads to Jacob Buttress camp for the title. He is your U.S. Open champion.
Who will win this season's first major? Find out with us February 21st live on Fox. It's the PBA Players Championship. 7 days later, back here in Jupiter, it's the TOC. We head to Tampa for the World Championship and then off to Reno, Nevada. April 4th and 11th, it's the Masters and the U.S. Open. And then all 5 winners from those majors will compete in the PBA Super Slam coming your way April 18th. Live on Fox. Back here with our coverage of the Central Regional Final and Zach Weidman, the 5 seed, a convincing victory over Wes Malott by 21 pins, and then a 34-pin victory over Ronnie Russell. He is set next to take on today's 2 seed, Andrew Anderson. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer Randy Pedersen, back here with you. And Anderson, 2018, it was his second full year on the tour, won 2 titles, including a major. That led him to Player of the Year honors. Since then, my goodness, it seems like decades ago. Andrew standing by with our Kimberly Pressler.
Andrew, you won Player of the Year in 2018, and you have struggled with some injuries since then. So what has been the toughest part about being MIA from the winner's circle?
You know, more mental and physical at this point, just trying to get back into repetition and the ability to win again, right? It's like relearning how to walk, it feels like. But, you know, I got another opportunity here, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
So, Randy, back here on the set, where has he been in your estimation since 2018?
Nowhere. He's been gone. I mean, non-existent. Again, you know, he talked about the injuries and whatnot, and then some changes in his grip and some changes in his game. But, you know, you look at Player of the Year any year, and maybe they don't duplicate that the following year, but you know, they're still on the radar.
Yeah.
And so 2019 was kind of okay. He made 3 shows, but they were all in the tour finals. And then 2020, 0 shows. He made 1 doubles telecast, and that was it. So I really think that 2021 is going to be a breakout year for Andrew, and I think he's got a lot to prove. I think he's got a lot of people to answer to, a lot of naysayers that he could say, hey, you could shut up now. And I think this is a year for him to do it. He's off to a great start.
You win Player of the Year honors. There are expectations that come with it. Nobody knows that better than our Jason Belmonte, 6-time Player of the Year, reigning Player of the Year. So, Belmo, what is it like to come back onto the tour after winning Player of the Year honors?
Yeah, listen, it's not easy. There's an expectation that you put on yourself. There's an expectation from the fans, and there's an expectation from your competitors. I think it can be very, very difficult to handle all of that while going through injury, while losing a little confidence in your game. I think this week, this year, it is a chance for Andrew to kind of just reset, to let go of any expectation that people may have had of him and just rebuild it from the beginning. He's looking great. I asked him how he was feeling. He said through injury, he's feeling as good as he can possibly feel right now. So there are no excuses. We should see a really good match from Andrew.
Well, Belmo, he says he feels good, but nobody is bowling better right now than Zach Weidman, just missing out on a 300-game last match. So those two set to tee it up next year from Jupiter. So we are set for our Central Region semifinals. Andrew Anderson up next. Why leg day has become important to him. That's next. We welcome you back to Bolero Jupiter PBA Players Championship coverage. Who's going to get lucky today? So far, it hasn't been luck. It has been skill for that man, Zach Weidman. 258 and then a 277. He's already taken care of the 4 seed and the 3 seed up next for him. Your 2 seed, Andrew Anderson, Rob Stone, Randy Pedersen, Jason Belmonte, Kimberly Pressler back here with you. Continuing coverage of the PBA on FS1. Weidman starts us off. Match number 3. Third straight match. He starts with the strike.
A 2-time PBA champion, USBC Masters champion, 3-time member of Team USA, and the 2018 PBA Player of the Year. This is Andrew Anderson.
Fifth year on the tour, just 25 years old. Won the 2018 Masters in that magical year for him. Only made 1 TV show last season. That was a doubles where he partnered with Prather to finish 4th. And he starts by leaving the 10-pin.
Pretty good opening shot there, Jason, for Andrew. He's got great ball roll. I mean, I think it's one of his trademarks. He's got that kind of that old school game, you know, a little slower going to the foul line, kind of tall and long, high backswing, medium rev rate.
Missed it. Open frame first.
And never mind.
When you've had success and then you go through a bit of a rough patch, when you get back to the TV lights, I sometimes feel like it can be overwhelming. You should feel comfortable because you feel like you've been there before, but it feels like it's been a while. So I'm sure that was just get the cobwebs off, get a little of the nerves out. But the way Zach is bowling, though, you almost have to be error-free, you know, and maybe that 9 miss will come back to haunt him later on. But if he has any chance to kind of, based on what we're seeing from Zach, you know, he's going to have to start stringing strikes from now.
No pressure. It's the facts. I mean, it's the way this kid has been bowling today. Chased 300 last game. He's perfect to start again. I mean, all 3 matches today, Weidman has started with an opening double.
And Jason, to me, it looks like he's following the transition brilliantly.
He's bowling great. He's reading the oil pattern. Look, today's pattern is not one of the hardest that we've seen on the PBA Tour, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to execute well. We've seen shots that if you've executed poorly, you've missed the head pin.
Yeah.
So for him to get up and bowl the way that he's doing, you know the execution is on point, just like that.
If you had a heart monitor on him today, it'd be at the same number from the second he got into the center to where he is right now.
A lot of tilt with a lot of roll on that shot there, and that's kind of his trademark. And we've come to understand that this kid can throw a lot of strikes.
And this kid is going to have to throw a lot of strikes starting now. Had one in the second, gets another in the third. After that open frame first, nice response from Andrew Anderson.
Yep, and that's just ball speed right there. That's a slower ball speed from his first shot on the right lane, which allowed the ball to get into its roll. I think that first shot out of the gate probably was the nerves that just fired it down there. Missed the 10-pin. Again, probably just an error due to nerves. Now that he's settling in a little bit, seeing that consistent ball shape, now we're going to see some good shots. Well, I hope we see some good shots.
So 3 in a row.
Yeah, you see that? I like that that aggression coming back. He knows that, you know, whiffing that 10-pin, and that really ticked him off. And I like that. I think that's good. That shows some fire in his belly. He rebounded beautifully with 3 in a row right after the whiff.
Back to the continuing story, the lead story today. Zach Weidman gets another strike, an opening ham bone. He had the opening 9 last match. He starts with a 4-bagger here.
I feel like I'm watching Zach bowl the second game on demand again. Like I'm just rewatching the exact same
You
game.
just rewinded it?
It's impressive. It really is impressive. Listen, there is something about the skill and the ability to repeat, not just to hit the pocket, but to get the ball to go through the pins this clean and this strong for as long as he has on a TV show, being your first TV show. I mean, we're seeing the makings of potentially someone that we may be crossing with for years to come.
Hard to make up ground when your competitor just keeps striking. Look at the arsenal for Andrew Anderson. Down 31. Trying his best to close that gap.
Yeah, you know, I like what Rob just said. I kind of think that you can look at it another way, though. It's like, okay, well, I'm getting run over. There's only one way that I can stay in this, and that's the strike. So it's almost like, all right, well, if I don't strike, I'm going to lose anyway. So what do I have to lose?
Yeah, and if there's going to be a time to have an error, your first frame is a good time to have it. Get it out early. Look, mathematically, if Zach leaves anything, Andrew is, at worst, tied with him.
Yeah.
So he's right in this match. Don't think that Andrew isn't close. It's just that Zach is just on fire. We haven't seen Zach give anyone an opportunity yet, but Andrew firing his own little 5-bagger, it's going to make it really, really interesting for Zach coming down the stretch.
Right back in it.
Anderson and Weidman, they wrap up their match next. The winner to take on the 1 seed, Tom Smallwood. Weidman again in pursuit of perfection. The on-lane graphics you see right now and throughout today's broadcast, including the ball tracer, courtesy of our great friends at Clutch Bowling. Love that FS1 PBA logo there on the right lane.
Jason has Clutch in his center back in Australia. It's awesome stuff, isn't it, Jason?
It's really amazing technology with the ability to see in real time your ball path going down.
Yeah.
You can lay target points and see explosions when you hit them. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, there we go.
Left the 10-pin.
The ring 10. Sorry, Rob.
Anderson missed the 10-pin in the first frame.
But this now evens the match up.
Yep.
With Andrew having missed in the first frame. Zach, if he were to spare this, we're even, is what I'm saying. So this is going to get very, very interesting in the next couple of frames.
Weidman takes care of that. And consider this too, guys. Weidman has not been pushed today at all. Comfortable wins of 21 and 34 pins.
I mean, it was a little snug with Wes Malott. In fact, they were tied after 7, but that was it. That's only the second 10-pin he's left today. That's pretty good, and that usually is conducive to bowling some pretty big games.
Both can max at 279. Weidman off the spare and back on the strike train.
Now, to me, it really looked like he gave that one the business, Jason.
It certainly went through the pins a little high flush there. He may have caught a little more of it. It may have been just a little bit of that transition happening where the ball now is reading the lane a little sooner. We're going to have to see something from Andrew to make Zach think about, should I move, should I not, what should I do? And it needs to be 2 great shots right now.
6 in a row for Anderson. We're still level through 7.
This is the 2018 Andrew Anderson that I'm seeing right now. The one where he lets the ball go and he knows this is a strike.
Do you think you have what it takes to be a pro? It's your time to become a pro. Head to PBA.com today. Sign up to become a PBA member. Register for our tournaments. Access discounted practice rates, exclusive product offers, and more. Become a PBA member like Jason Belmonte today. Carry. Got the carry and got another strike. 7 in a row for Anderson.
How about this comeback? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. This is the AA that
carry
we saw for the most of 2018, for a little bit of 2017. It's a little scary for us guys out here now to see someone of his caliber throwing the ball like this.
See how Weidman responds. Typical Weidman fashion today. 10 in the pit.
I got to tell you guys, it's pretty impressive. And what a great match, all even going into the 9th and 10th. Weidman, 12 consecutive strikes on the left lane. Is that what I'm reading? Yep, 12 consecutive strikes on the left lane for Weidman. And if he strikes out, 9th and 10th, he can't be shut out. But he has to set it up right here with a strike on the left lane.
Go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh to okay, just like that.
And we only see that on the left lane, it seems like. And I think the left lane has a little bit more hold on it. And so they get it inside a little bit, and they go, uh-oh, and it just ends up dead flush.
Andrew Anderson steps back up, 2018 PBA Player of the Year. Much of the focus of his work lately, Randy, it's been like what you do, leg day. He said we got to build up that leg strength due to the number of the games on the tour. Last year it got to me. Feel like I can bowl 100 games a week now, says Anderson. And well, he's showing nothing but strength right now. A double ham bone as he remains even with Weidman.
So, Jason, my thought process now, if it was me getting up into the 10th frame, is I'm going to make 3 of the most pure shots I could possibly make and force this guy Weidman to show up in the 10th just to tie. What would you be thinking about?
Exactly that. You're thinking, I don't want to give him an opportunity to beat me. If the worst that can happen is a tie, well, let me see him step up and make those 3 shots.
His only mistake came on his second shot with the 10-pin in the first frame. Since then, nothing but strikes.
Beautiful shot here. I think Jason hit it on the head when we were talking earlier. 2018 Player of the Year comes a lot of expectation and responsibility. And with each tournament and no success, the span of your bowling ball starts to get shorter and shorter. And the next thing you know, you've dug yourself such a deep hole, it takes you a bit of time to find your way out.
Get there. Go. Go! No. Did not go, and he is in trouble in the 10th.
Well, the hard thing, too, is this is going to be an open frame, and like Randy just drew on the screen there, it was three boards further to the right. Speed was up a little bit. He needed it to come back. But here is the difficult thing for Andrew. Not only has he given Zach an opportunity to win this game with 2 strikes, but that 7-2 also hurts him with the count.
Yep.
So right now, Zach, if he were to go strike 7 spare, that's a winner.
Yep. Yeah, it's a big opening. He asked for a re-rack late. That has to be your first order of business. He was not granted that re-rack, steps up, rushes a shot, and throws it wide right.
You heard him say shot clock a couple times. Go. Weidman, what do you got, kid? Another strike in the bag. Unfazed is this kid. 9 to move on.
Well, he needs to shoot 265 to shoot 800. He needs to shoot 266 to win by 1.
Nine to move on.
Good shot.
Give him 9, and just barely.
First time on television, shoots 800 plus for the first 3 games, just averaging.
It's what we predicted in the pregame, right?
I know, just averaging a little over 260. I'll tell you what, you know who's feeling pretty good about this right now? Let's see, E.J. Tackett, Chris Prather.
They're not feeling good.
Oh, yeah, they're sitting at home.
That's the point. They're sitting at home.
They're sitting at home saying, you know what, we got beat by a pretty good bowler.
I know those cats. They're saying we got beat. That's all that matters.
No, if the guy comes out and shoots 150 the first game, they're throwing stuff at the TV going, that guy's a hack. But guess what? They're saying, hey, this dude can bowl. We got beat by a good bowler. We have nothing to be ashamed about. That guy just shot over 800 for 3.
Guess who's waiting in the wings? That man, 2-time major champion Tom Smallwood. He hits the hardwood next. Why, he is the Bubba Gump of venison. Next, as the PBA on FS1 rolls on.
Bubba Gump of venison.
You heard it.
Welcome back to the PBA on FS1. Right now, I am joined by the #1 seed, Tom Smallwood. Now, you are also a former champion in this event, but a little bit different road to get here this year.
Yeah, obviously with the 5 regions, a little tougher road, I thought. 400 bowlers to compared to 120. So much tougher road, but you know, figure a way to get this far and hopefully get to at least one more match.
Talking about a tough road, that guy you're going up against next, Zach, he's been doing nothing but strikes. Did you watch any of his previous matches?
I've been watching a little bit. Obviously, kick and play, and ain't scared to throw lots of strikes. So I'm assuming he's going to keep it going, so I'm going to do the same thing.
Well, we're not going to hold you anymore. Let's get to some bowling.
Thank you.
Get ready for some strikes in our final match. Get ready for some strikes tomorrow, 2 Eastern on FS1, when our coverage of the PBA Players Championship continues here from Bolero Jupiter. It is the East region and the pro with the fro. Our great friend Kyle Troop is your 1 seed. You can see him action tomorrow, 2 Eastern on FS1.
He owns 3 career PBA Tour titles with 2 major victories. The 2018 PBA Players Champion. This is Tom Smallwood.
Native of Saginaw, 18th year on the tour, 43 years old. His big moment, it came back in 09, just a 2nd career TV appearance, won the World Championship in Wichita, dropping Wes Smollett. Former unemployed auto worker turned PBA pro. One of the best in the biz on and off the lanes, and he starts with the strike.
I thought he had a great comment when he mentioned that this The road to these finals was tougher than a regular Touring Players Championship. Almost 400 players. We had 381 players. But I think what makes this so unique, and when they showed the graphic about tomorrow's show, 4 non-winners. And I think what makes this format so unique, give me 1 second. Yeah, nothing new by Zach, is the opportunity that was afforded to players to compete in this event because of the different regions. So now instead of having to go from Arizona to New Jersey to bowl this event, which a lot of players can't do, now maybe it was a 2-hour drive, and now all of a sudden I can bowl this tournament. It afforded and lended itself to some great players that we are seeing.
Some unknowns
that we're seeing that can actually play and have tremendous amounts of talent.
Guys like Zach Weidman, who starts with what else? Another opening double, and we're seeing more and more guys like a Weidman getting the confidence to further their professional career here at the PBA Players Championship. Again, completely reworked due to the pandemic. 5 regions scattered around the country, 381 bowlers, 28 games, 4 different oil patterns. So it was still a grind. It was still a test, very much like a March Madness. And
Absolutely.
then they all kind of come together here for our quote-unquote Final Four, or really our Final 5, if you will, leading up to the final show. We go back to your 1 seed, Tom Smallwood. All of the 1 seeds have moved on here so far, and Smallwood matching Weidman strike for strike.
Well, I think the question that we're going to have to ask ourselves is, at what point, if ever, does Zach's bowling ball see any kind of transition that will not just make it hard for him to hit the pocket, but hard for him to strike? We're not really seeing that yet. 3 games in, he's thrown 5, 6, 7, 8s in a row every single game. Tom has come out. He's made 2 great shots from the get-go. I like the way Tom's ball is going through the pins a little better.
Get lucky.
But
oh, win. That's all right.
Zach has found a way. He's found a way every match.
So Smallwood, perfect 3 for 3. Weidman steps up. One thing we were able to notice during the commercial break, and I'll get to that after we take a look at the lanes, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see the trench that's being dug right here by the players because everybody's pretty much playing the same part of the lane.
One thing about Weidman, when we're in these commercial breaks, guys have the opportunity to step up, take practice shots. He does not use all of his practice shots that are at his disposal.
Well, he only gets practice off the television pair, and he can throw as many shots as he wants off to the side. His bowling on the TV pair is done, and so he comes back right after his next opponent's done practicing, and then they start the match.
No nonsense, all business. Very little emotion we've seen from Zach Weidman. Through the nose.
There it is, Jason.
Maybe, maybe that's the start. It was hard to see at the release point if he maybe overcaught that. But if that is a little transition, what's his move? He seems to have been progressing slowly and slowly to the left. Does he keep doing that? Does it change his angle of entry? I don't know enough about Zach's game to know what move I would typically see him do. So it's going to be all feel for him.
I just want to go back to the Weidman practice shot theme here, Randy, in a second as he goes to clean this one up, which he does. He didn't take any practice shots.
Oh, none.
None. Nowhere.
Oh, he threw no practice.
0. And I guess if you're throwing that many strikes, why unload everything?
Yeah, but I mean, you still want to stay loose, but I guess when you're 26, you don't have to when you're...
Remember those days?
Yeah, I do. It used to take me 4...
Hold on. Pass me the Advil. What?
It used to take me 4 shots to get loose. Now it takes 40 minutes.
Smallwood. His effort in the 4th. Opening ham bone for Smalls. Remember when we did the Zoom call with all the bowlers leading up to this event? Mm-hmm. What was the thing that stood out in the background of Tom Smallwood?
It was all of the stuffed heads hanging on his wall.
Down in his man cave, Belmo. There are 2 full deer, right? Heads all over the wall, and he's giving us a tour. Like, like, Smalls, we only got a few minutes with you. Like, we really need some intel. He's like, I shot this 4-point buck over here. This is that. Did he miss a wedding? Perfect through 5.
And also keep in mind he doesn't use a gun or a rifle. He uses a bow.
Crossbow.
Yeah, I know he and Marshall Kent, EJ Tackett, I think even Rodney Russell, they enjoy going out into the woodlands there and doing some hunting, doing some camping. I know that I never say a bad word about Tom because he can get you from a few hundred yards away.
You won't even know it's coming. Uh-oh. So now, really for the first time today, it's Weidman chasing back-to-back spares.
And it's the same pin. It's the 4-pin.
Yeah.
The ball reading that friction on the lane. So the move would be to migrate a little further left and use that friction still, but to see more oil first. Again, I don't know if there's a ball change. I wouldn't ball change. I mean, this ball is rolling great. It's striking when it's going through the pins, but sometimes you may have to take a risk, even when a certain ball is striking so much. Your opponent's got 5 in a row. You've got to do something to keep up.
Yeah. Now the only reason I would make a ball change after the back-to-back 4-pins is I move in off of that, and I get it into a little bit more oil. It holds its line. It gets to the pocket, and I flat 10. Then I'm out of that ball the next shot.
That's right. Yeah. If this next delivery doesn't look like, or you don't think you can strike out with it, you may have to take that risk.
How about back-to-back-to-back 4-pins? And you were right. You hit it right on the head, Rob. That was the first time all day that he had shot back-to-back spares. Now it's going to be 3 in a row. I mean, it's so like our show on Fox with Kelso when he just absolutely dominated for 3 games, ran into
just how long can you keep
transition,
it going, right?
and Simonson just smoked it.
I mean, this is your 5 seed, right? Took care of the big nasty Wes Malott by 21. Took care of 3 seed Ronnie Russell by 34. Squeaked by Anderson by 3, your 2 seed, and now Tom Smallwood may be that wall in his way because Smalls is perfect through 5. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. Randy Belmo, you guys want to come back to Jupiter, right? What's
gosh, are you
not
kidding
to
me?
want
I
to
love
come
it
back
here.
here for? My goodness,
Absolutely.
beautiful area. Well, we already know Anthony Simonson and Francois Lavoie will be joining us for our PBA Players Championship Final live coverage on Fox Sunday, February 21st, 12:30 Eastern. Still waiting to fill out the Central, the East, and the South. Tom Smallwood right now trying to make it 3 for 3 for 1 seeds to move on to the Final 5 of the Players Championship. He's got an early lead over Zach Weidman.
Rob, I'm sorry. Who's coming back? Because I was all caught up in the scenic.
Anthony Simonson.
And Francois
Lavoie.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
You're welcome.
I just kind of got a little mesmerized by the ocean backdrop. And
it's gorgeous out here.
It really is.
Smallwood. Get it! Get it! Get it!
That's a terrible shot. That's pretty fortunate.
Stupid 10-pin again.
Well, you heard him say it's a terrible shot. That's pretty fortunate. Just a little bit inside of target, but the messenger comes in front. Tom Smallwood, though, doing a great job in this final match of getting off to a red-hot start.
Messenger needed a protein shake in the morning. Not enough juice in the engine. Weak Messenger.
Fortunate. It's a terrible shot.
You know, I think it was last week where it was stupid 7-pin. Wasn't it stupid 7-pin last week? Was that last week for you? Or was that 2 weeks ago?
Well, the 10-pin had been my main adversary for years.
Yep.
But now the 7-pin is starting to get on my nerves, too.
Yeah.
So I've got, the 2 guys on the end are let's be honest, they're a little annoying.
Uh-oh. Double dribble. Yeah.
Back-to-back tens.
Jason, how much of that double dribble early affected that pin carry?
I think more than that, I think it was how far inside of target down lane the ball was. So, yeah, the double dribble would have affected the way that the ball got into the roll, but it was a little tighter on the inside. The break point was a little left, so he didn't see the same angle.
Yeah, way left.
And that's exactly what he did on the right lane for the 10 pin as well.
So misses left both shots on right and left lane in the 6th and 7th frame after starting with 5 in a row. Weidman now has a chance to get back in this.
But it's been 3 spares in a row. 3 9 spares in a row for Weidman after an opening triple.
Deeper. Yep, so he's made the move. He's gotten away from that 4 pins, moved farther left, and now he has to increase his angles. You can see the lines right there where that red line's deeper than the last shot that he threw on that lane where he left the 4 pin, and now it's that Ripper 7.
But as you move further and further left, even if your break point, even if you're hitting the same break point down lane, the entire angle has now changed.
Right.
So the ball is not going through the pins the same way. And then take into effect the transition of the lane pattern. So now the oil has been affected. Lots change.
Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text PLAY to the number on your screen, 36413, to help keep kids in the game. Wonderful program.
Great program.
So proud of Fox Sports being a part of that.
All right, deeper as well in that lane. He gets this one to come around the corner.
And a ball change. Yeah, that looked like to be a ball change there. He's moved left, even created a little bit of loft onto the lane too. But that's the angle that we've been used to seeing his ball go through the pins. And that, to me, was a must strike, or the start of the string. Tom looks phenomenal. His bad shots are leaving 10 pins.
Yep.
You didn't want to, if you're Zach, you don't want to spare the game out. You now need to start striking.
Smalls in the 8th. Really? Really?
From that angle, too. That's
still your game, buddy.
That's pretty good. 23 to about 7.5 board down lane at the break point. And the ball comes ripping back, only to go right by the 8 pin.
Yeah, it's bad timing. I mean, there are worse times to leave a smash 8 pin. I'm just trying to think of one at the moment, and one doesn't come off the top of my head, but...
Okay.
Hold on a second, I just got a fist bump, Belmo. There we go. Sorry, Randall.
That's all right.
You know I love you.
I know. All right, still max score for Tom Smallwood, I believe 257, yes, and for Weidman, it's only 246. So, I mean, this game is still in Tom Smallwood's hands.
Yeah,
it's in his court.
A strike here means he can't get shut out.
Yeah.
Anything less, 9 spare, potential tie. Anything less than that, Zach can actually step up and shut Tom out. It's a critical frame.
Gets his first strike since the 5th frame.
Do you know the only difference between that shot and the last? The 8 pin fell. They were identical. Absolutely identical. Same ball roll, same launch angle, same everything, except the 8 pin fell. That's it. Just the 8 pin.
Uh-oh.
This is not the Weidman, or at least the reaction from Weidman that we've seen in the opening 3 matches.
Yeah, so, I mean, we get this all the time, and who better to explain this other than myself, who tries to do it on a weekly basis, than the greatest bowler on the planet, Jason Belmonte. But here's his scores for today. Weidman, 258, 268, 277, and right now he's going at a 216 pace, and the people watching at home are now wondering, well, I don't get it. I mean, he did nothing but strike on every ball, and now he can't strike anymore.
It's one of the hardest parts of our game to explain. It's one of the most frustrating things to listen to people who are watching who, either not necessarily don't understand it, but just don't appreciate what happens to oil on the lane. And what Zach is seeing here with his ball shape is what we see every single frame, whether it be on TV or in qualifying, and that's the manipulation of the oil. As every ball rolls down the lane, the oil is now changing. Sometimes it's very slight, sometimes it's dramatically. And what we're seeing right now for Zach, and what we saw in week 1 with Chris, is at some point you have to change so many things that your ball does not do the same thing as it did previously.
So are you saying he made his adjustments too late, or he didn't recognize them, or maybe this is just new territory for a young man on the tour?
No, I think, well, I don't know. Well, by judging by the scores, you could potentially say that he made the change too late. But, I mean, he's still in this match.
But it's not like Smallwood's scores are smashing
and
either.
he's still in this match, guys. Like,
absolutely.
A strike here from Zach will force Tom to at least get a spare. And anything is possible in this game. We've seen some pretty crazy things. But my advice to Zach is to recognize that move, and he probably hung on a frame too long with that other ball. Sometimes it's a very difficult decision. You're shooting 800s with that ball, but the best in the world take that risk.
Randy nodding.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We saw the same thing from Chris Kelso. 2 frames cost him that win, other than Simonson shooting 279 at him, but it was really that right lane and 2 shots that got him. I mean, he bowled phenomenally all day. Same thing with Weidman. I think he didn't really recognize the move until it was too late. And then once he made the move, it took him another frame or 2 to get it dialed in.
Weidman down with a 226. A strike for the win. Smallwood moves on.
And as hard as it is to win anything on the PBA Tour from the #1 seed, we've got 3 in a row now.
Well, I can tell you that meant a lot to Tom.
You heard it.
Yeah.
That meant a lot to Tom.
I was trying to.
That was 3 dudes in a booth staring at each other at the same time. It was like that Spider-Man gif where we're all pointing at each other in Spider-Man suits.
Yeah.
Well, the top seed has made it through each week. Is that a theme as well that we're looking at? Is it?
Kyle Troop. We'll know tomorrow with Kyle Troop.
It seems to be usually the top seed has what 500, less than
50% chance historically.
So maybe 2021 is the year of the top seed.
That ought to favor you well.
Not for this tournament.
Except for this tournament, yeah.
Very impressive today, man. Very impressive. Man, you bowled awesome.
Yeah, good
nice
stuff there.
Nice touch of class, as always, from Smalls. Here's the shot that won it. Just needed a mark. He'll take the strike.
And there's no better mark than a perfect shot.
And it was that second burst of energy and emotion from Smallwood that caught us off guard. That's not the Tom Smallwood we typically are accustomed to seeing. I kind of liked it.
Yeah. I mean, anytime a player shows emotion and basically lets everybody know what it means, that's pretty cool stuff.
So let's add another headshot. We now have 3 of our 5 finalists booked for the PBA Players Championship live on Fox Sunday, February 21st. Kimberly standing by with your central winner, Tom Smallwood.
Well, Tom was able to do something that nobody else could do today, and that was stop Zach Weidman. And you absolutely earned this trophy, so why don't you go ahead and take that? So let's talk about the match, because you were able to read the lanes and execute so well when Zach was starting to struggle this match. How'd you make that happen?
I'm assuming the transition just kind of started catching up to him, where, fortunately I had 8 shots before the game, so I could feel him out a little better. Then he had to sit around. So, when someone else goes left of you, even when I'm on show and I'm waiting, someone else goes left of you, you're watching them bowl, you're thinking that I'm going to have to move, and it might have played in his head just as much as it did actually on the lanes.
And how impressed were you with Zach?
he struck every time he needed it today. I mean, 10 frame there, he threw 3 to 10 to make me, show up. So the kid can throw it when he needs it, and obviously he can bowl.
Well, with this win, you now move on to another TV final in a major, and you were known for stepping up under pressure situations. So how do you do that?
Blind luck? I don't know. I'm as nervous as the next guy, but it's something I love. It's what you dream about as a kid. I always say there's guys that want the ball in a pressure situation, and guys that don't. I'm one of the guys that always wanted it.
Well, you got a chance at winning another Players Championship. What does that mean to you?
Everything. This is what we bowl. One step closer to Hall of Fame, which is the ultimate goal. And yeah, $250,000 isn't terrible either. So, yeah, it's my job. My job is to make a living for my family. So, the more I bowl, the more strikes I throw, and the more times I'm on TV, the better it is.
Well, we saw a lot of excitement out of you today. Congratulations on this win. You've earned it.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Tom Smallwood knows how to shine when there is a big payday at the end of that rainbow. He's proven it to us once before, and now he's in line for a $250,000 payday, the biggest winning payout this season on the PBA Tour. Rob, Randy, Jason, back here with you. Let's recap how we got here, and the opening story was all about Zach Weidman and how he stormed through the field until the final match.
Completely dominant. Match number 1, he beats Wes Malott 258 to 237, only missed twice. Match number 2, he starts with the front 9 in a row against Ronnie Russell, takes Ronnie out 277, 243. Match number 3 was the same kind of deal, although Andrew Anderson came back and really put the pressure on in the 10th frame. Andrew gives him an opening. Weidman walks right through it. And then it took all the way up until the 4th frame of the last game where Weidman started to lose pin carry. Smallwood jumped all over that, and Smallwood ends up winning by 20, 246, 226. Rob, remember what I called him at the top of the show? Forget about the nickname Smalls. He's the sniper.
Sniper, and he's not small. He's big.
Yeah.
He's big time, Jason Belmonte, when it matters. And also, Jason, we just saw that. That was the winning strike that clinched the victory for him today. It was a fist pump, and then a double fist pump, and a little blurt out. This is some emotion that, do you typically see from him day in, day out, week in, week out on the tour?
No, Tom is one of the more quieter guys. Even during qualifying, you very rarely do you see him make any kind of announcement to the field of what's just happened. That to me tells me that there was something inside that meant more to him for this particular event, for this particular showing right now, than what we might have known. I love to see that. He performed and executed an incredible game out there, and I think these are the types of moments that Tom steps up best. These big-time major championship, it's now or never type moments. And he's always been, for me anyway, I've always regarded him as one of the best shot makers under pressure out here on tour. And he just showed us today, coming up against someone who didn't seem like they were going to stop striking. He came out, made incredible shots the entire game.
He has 3 tour titles. 2 of them are majors, and he's on line for a potential 3rd major right now. What was the announcement? I love that word, Jason, that you used. What was the announcement in your eyes that Tom Smallwood made today?
I think it was pretty much not just the way that he won, but that aggression there at the end to kind of let the fellas know, not only am I here to play, but this means something to me. This means more to me than it does you guys. Taking that into the final 5 and feeding off of that, I think is going to be a huge motivator for Tom. It's going to be a real benefit to him to focus. And like I said, when he gets in those moments, those clutch moments, there's not too many better in the clutch than Tom.
Same question.
Yeah, he likes the big-time tournaments, right? I mean, let's not forget, a few years ago, he finished second to Mika Koivuniemi at the Tournament of Champions when first place was $250,000, and he led that event. The guy's got 4 titles, 2 of them are majors. This guy loves the big money. He also knows the significance of winning today, which gets him a spot into the top 5, that 3-game total pin roll-off for the seeding on February 21st for the finals. He knows the money that's on the line. That's a lot of money. It's life-changing money. $250,000. Smallwood's got his eyes on the prize. There's no doubt about it.
Yep, and he keeps the theme going of number 1 seeds moving on. to our final show here at the PBA Players Championship, the first event and the first major of this PBA season here on Fox and FS1. More coverage coming your way tomorrow. It is the East Region Final. 2 Eastern, and your headliner, Kyle Troop, in great position to keep that 1 seed run going here at the Players Championship. But again, the other theme that we've seen throughout the last couple weeks, a set of gentlemen that maybe we don't know a whole lot about, but have been awfully comfortable under the bright lights at these regional tournaments, taking their moment and shining when it matters most. Weidman was almost that guy, but in the end, it was the grizzled vet, Tom Smallwood, able to move on. For Randy Pedersen, Kimberly Pressler, Jason Belmonte, and our entire FS1 crew, I'm Rob Stone. You've been watching the PBA on FS1. Smalls moves on as he continues his pursuit of another major payday.